Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you are. A very special welcome to this webinar on how to turbocharge Zoho CRM by leveraging web form. I see there are a lot of people who have joined this webinar. Let me thank each one of you who have taken out time from their busy schedule to join this very special webinar. Okay, so let me quickly introduce my good friend and presenter of the session, Muhammad Ataullah. He is best known as Ata amongst the customers. Ata drives customer success at GoldenLion and has been involved with hundreds of Zoho implementations all over the world. And throughout the session, myself, Arnab, will be assisting Ata and would step in wherever required. This webinar is going to be 45 to 60 minutes with live Q&A at the end. However, during the session, if you have a question, please feel free to send out the question via the right-hand side widget that you'll be seeing at your screen. And the structure of the session is going to be as follows, that we'll have we'll structure it in a way that will first talk about why web forms and how to build awesome responsive Zoho CRM web forms. And then we'll be demonstrating to you a few of the very useful use cases. And then we'll have a live Q&A at the end. Now, before we proceed, some of the housekeeping rules that this webinar is going to get recorded, and you will get a copy of the recorded webinar in a few days. And to get the best out of this webinar, I'll request everyone to close all distractions, your Facebook, your email, your YouTube, Twitter, because there will be a lot of content that we'll be going to share today, which is going to help your business. So please sit back, relax, and take a lot of notes. With that, I will hand it over to my good friend Ata. So give me just one quick second.
So thank you. Long story cut short, like basically, why web form? Because you need more business. That's all. Simple. So, and also second information is that would be that you need to manage your database. So, in case if you're looking at this point here, why web forms? Like we've divided into in a few areas. Of course, there are like what are the use cases going to be in the marketing department, your sales department, feedback, and support department. So, marketing department will be using for doing their demand generation. Sales, of course, so taking their leads from lead to closure, all the pipeline, whatever is information required from the customer, they can capture it. And support team, of course, will be required when after sales, you need your people have questions, you like to answer them, you like to understand their problem correctly, you might have some set of questions to identify the issues to solve them. So right kind of so that you'll be collecting a lot of information from there. And the feedback, of course, once you give a service, you like to get a feedback from them so that you can improve upon your work. Or you probably say, imagine a situation where you're launching a new product or you're getting into new territory. You like to ask some questions to your prospects and customers that, hey guys, can you help me understand like how we can solve this particular problem? And also to understand their problem, what are the problems they're facing? It's like this exercise, this feedback exercise is going to be like really useful for you to take your business to the next level. And for growing up, and it's pretty useful for the growing organization, of course. So here, if I'm going to divide broadly that, the web forms and the connection with the web forms and the CRM in technical terms, then what you're going to do is that you can create records within the CRM and you can update them. So, like creating records, you can create records in a different kind of modules, like maybe in lead module or contact module. Here you can in support module, potential or testimonial. It's like testimonial is nothing but a custom module which we have introduced, which is a type of custom module. Those who are using already the CRM, Zoho CRM rather, they must be aware of this custom module functionality. But those who are not aware, for their benefit, I'd like to tell that this is basically an extra module which you can create within the Zoho CRM, to capture some other scenarios which can be mapped using their standard models like lead contact, an opportunity, etc. So you can create. So in fact, you can, as we say, that you can create any record in any module actually using the different kind of forms. Okay, so and in terms of use cases, like say, if I'm going to say creating a lead, it's a kind of universal stuff actually. So everybody, whoever is having website, they must be knowing that how to capture leads. How important is to capture leads from the website because they've invested a lot of money in the website. They like to have people visiting the website like to fill some forms and those forms when they're filling should be more relevant so that they can get quick and better service. So this is pretty, I mean, it's not a, it's a no-brainer of all. So it's basically a straightforward requirement, but you can also, create a contact. I'll come back to this. How can, where exactly this useful is, like when you're going to have, when you can create contact directly from a form actually. Some cases you have to create a contact. It's pretty useful for the cases where you've got the sales cycle is less actually, like for example in travel agency, you might be having a website where people are going to book a tour for you. There you like to, instead of creating a lead, possibly they become a kind of opportunity directly for you because they're becoming customers. And in that case, instead of creating a lead, you can create a contact for you along with a potential. So potential, and then you start serving them. So that's one of the use cases. But of course, this is I'm giving one example. There could be many actually. It could be from law firm, from a loan disbursal company. This kind of requirement can be for education services. So all of them have their own use cases, and that all can be catered to, of course. And like regarding the updation, like existing information are there in the system. As I said previously, that the custom, the every company would like to take their database very seriously. That's because you've been in a business for, you might have been in business for quite some time, maybe a month or year or so. So what do you earn apart from money? Basically, what you earn is the database, a kind of the contact list or maybe information about the companies, etc., who can give you repeat business. So it's very important for you, whatever data you gather over the years, to nurture them, to trim them, to update them. This is a very important exercise, and who can understand better than a business owner actually this kind of requirement. So yes, but what happens in the real world is little not static, it's dynamic in nature. That means people you might have served in past, they might have moved from different places, from one city to another, from one country to another. Sometimes people, changes the company. They like to, in case you want to capture their information. Sometimes what happens, and also in B2B environment, like certain cases where your, one person can move to other department, and and if it, and it, this is very important in case you're a bigger company where you have the opportunity of serving multiple departments of big companies, and you want to have those people who are in contact to be in touch with you. So yes, so updating a contact, time to time is really going to be useful for you. And same for other things like updating the potential. Yeah, updating the potential with the forms, again, is another useful thing. For example, imagine a situation, say a firm for, a lawyer firm, for example, where people would like to collect information during the course of the deal. Like, so most of the information you might not be available to you at one time, and you may not want them as well. So you might be collecting information on a continual basis. So how are you going to do that? So you can keep updating those with different forms. So yes, there comes this update required use case here. And so now next I'm going to go to the next slide. So this is, I'm quite clear. I think everybody's quite pretty convinced and pretty, I think that you are, it's the why we web form. That question is beautifully answered, I believe. So if you have any queries further, you can still contact us. We'll give more information on that. And now coming back to the technicalities, that what are the types of form, what are the form systems which Zoho supports, or where actually GoldenLion can help you, enhance your experience. So basically, Zoho has got its own native web form, of course, which is like, it's a kind of vanilla form. This custom HTML form will be highly required. There comes GoldenLion's help. We can help you. I can show you that how we can help you build beautiful looking custom forms which will be attractive enough for people to fill those forms. In fact, another important area is that like these forms has to be a little more responsive in nature. That's another important thing which we need to look into. I'll talk about this a little later as well. Third form factor would be like, that Zoho's other, forms like Zoho Creator has got form system. Zoho Survey has got a form system, and now we have got Zoho Form as well. So all of them can be integrated with CRM. Apart from that, third-party programs like WooForm, FormStack, those people who are dealing with the forms, they must be aware of this WooForm, FormStack, JotForm, and Gravity Form. So these are pretty useful, and and they have got high-end design as well. So you like to integrate them with Zoho CRM? Yeah, we can help you doing that. So these are the different form systems. Now I'm going to talk about the building forms a little bit. See, in the Zoho CRM, if you look at this, I'll just show you that how it. In Zoho CRM, if I go into this, those who are familiar with Zoho, you'll know that here in the setup, you'll see that website integration, like web forms are there. You can see these forms you can create here. There's not much of design here. It's not responsive either. So I mean that would be good if there's nothing is there, but possibly you need something better. So here comes so building form, as I said, is not enough. Reason is that it must look awesome so that people are attracted to see the form and like to fill. The research shows that people visual in terms of visual presence is very, very important. Like visual appeal is really important for you to grab the attention of the people who are going to fill the form. And another thing is very important is that in this changing environment is that people are more and more actually moving from a normal laptop world to mobile phone. People are now opening the emails, etc. They browse to the mobile phone, etc. So sometimes they go home and they'll see the iPad as well. So you have to have responsive forms needs to be there so that can open up nicely in all form factor, be it laptop, be it iPad or maybe mobile phone, etc. So it should be responsive enough. So here comes our expertise. We're going to help you doing that. So awesome responsive web forms. Yeah. And how are we going to do that? We're going to take this basic one to make the extraordinary using the CSS and responsive functionality. We can help you doing this from this normal vanilla to this exciting and more attractive web forms. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you as well. And I'm going to now the first use case I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a web form for you. Like this is my dummy website. See, I have one vanilla form here. And you see that this is one. And I've got, say, a little better than this is this one. Okay. And after this, I'm going to demonstrate another one actually. So wait for a second. So let's say there's one somebody is filling this form. So let's somebody's interested in magical Goa trips. He's going to travel sometime in the month of July. The 27th of July, his name is, say, Tyler Smith. He's going to put mobile number, his email ID, you can see. I'm just giving a dummy email ID, so don't worry about it. Okay, so choosing all the important informations. Let's say number of adults traveling 6, 0 children under. If any information, so please send me a price for Goa trip. So basically Goa is in one destination, India. So people who were not aware, it's like a beach. It's a nice beach. It's pretty popular all over the world. So I'm going to submit this, and it should get into the CRM directly. So this is one form. And another form is like, which I'm going to fill out here, then I'll show you how it appears inside the CRM. So let's say this one is say Adam Johnson, say Adam J at the rate GoldenLion Consulting. Okay, so a mobile number I'm going to put, phone number if there is any. Requirements. So please say, for example, he can say, please send me price for Rajasthan. Rajasthan is another place in India. You know, those who are not familiar with India, these are the places you can visit, guys, next time in India, okay? So this is really a cool place to be in. So, so this two information is going to come, and how it's going to come into the CRM, I'm going to demonstrate that to you. Here I've got these two leads are coming in here, this Tyler Smith and Adam Johnson. So see both of them sitting nicely. This is one of the, and all the information is whatever you put in there is all coming here. So whatever information you're passing on, some of the information here in this area, see this number of adults and the information which you're passing on here. So this one example. Another example was this information like phone numbers. Now, so this is how you're going to capture the leads. So this is one use case which I was talking about. So second is that updating the contact, like how you're going to be existing contact is going to be there. And we are going to demonstrate that. Say, for example, this is another interesting case, like where you have existing contact is already there and you need to update the information from him. So, and this is really, one of the important things like people always look for. For example, I'm going to open this contact, Jack Harris. There are some information available about him, like mail street, mailing list. All the information is available. Say, imagine, this Jack Harris moved from New York to some other places, and you don't, or another use case could be that you don't know his passport number, his date of birth, etc., anniversary, etc. Or might be another case where Jack is actually, you don't know that Jack is, initially he was unmarried, now he's married, so you'd like to update that context. How are we going to do that? So for that, we've written, like a code for you. So you can write, you can actually click on this. You can select multiple people and run a macro here. Macro is actually, those who are not aware of the macro is like, kind of programming. So where you can do a multiple function at one go. For example, here I can send an email people, and then I can create a task automatically. So those 2-3 functions, you can combine them, then you can do that. So you can say, imagine a situation like, where you have got a contact list of 500 people who like to update all the contacts. So all you can do is that you can select all of them, you run the macro, and that's it. It's going to go to all the relevant people individually. They can see the request and they can update it. I'm going to demonstrate that to you right now. Let's say I'm not going to send all of them. I'm going to send one email only for the simplicity purpose. But this is really going to be powerful because here you are going to outsource your work to somebody else. So imagine the situation, if you want to update this information, what your sales rep is going to do. Maybe he's going to call him, collect information about his date of birth, passport number, etc. Or he can send an email, collect those information. So in either case, the person, your prospect or customer is going to answer those questions either through email or phone, whatever it is. So, but here I'm going to automate that part. Actually, I'm going to send this one small email, send a contact details form, and that's it. I can sit down and relax, see the effect actually. So let's say, for example, this email has gone out of the system. I'm going to show you what exactly the email has gone. This is review and update inquiry. This is what he is going to receive. Say, hi Jack, it's been awesome to have you as a business contact. Would you please review and update your details so that we can take our relationship to the next level? You can write down any of the messages, like you can personalize it as well. So I'm not doing anything. We're just clicking one button and this is going here. You can see the magic here. So information which was there in the CRM is all populated here. His name is populated, his email address, his mobile number, but whatever is not available, date of birth, date of anniversary, passport number, etc., is not available. Maybe there's all addresses in very populated. So let's say I am Jack, so I'd like to fill out those forms for you. So I'm going to say, okay, my mobile number has changed, so I'm going to update it. So my date of birth is not there, so I'm going to put my date of birth, say, in the system. Okay, recently, say Jack has married in the January month. So he can say his anniversary, you've got a passport number, he's going to submit that. His issue date of passport, he can issue, say for example, you can put like, say, we got a passport in 2009, in the month of May, for example. It is going to expire in the month of May, so 2019, for example. And if there is an address change, for example, I'm going to write, say, 145, 14567 Russell Street. Now I am in no more in New York. I probably moved to London, so like zip code might have changed. Mailing country is now UK. So these are the changes are there. And also, you can also control some of the fields. Like, for example, these two fields I have control so that he cannot change it because I want this information to be tracked here. So you can also lock some of the fields if you want to. So you submit this information, saying you are giving him a thank you page. Basically, this is we have hosted this information on the Insta page, so you can also make nice looking landing pages here. So now let's say that's what happened in the CRM. So let me see whether it's been updated or not. Let me just close this one as well. See, the Jack information is automatically updated. See, additional information is also getting populated. That's great. Say his passport details, his anniversary details. Now, say for example, you are set up one email trigger. You can do that, saying that you can wish him and every on his special days like anniversary and happy birthdays. You can send out emails automation. Also, you can alert him about when his passport is expiring. So those are the cool stuff you can do with the clients. So for this is really and as I said, that this particular macro you can run not only on individual contact, you can run en masse. That means you can send it to multiple people. So you can imagine a situation. Imagine how much time it's going to save you. Another good thing is that outsourcing this work to the client himself is that you'll be able to capture the right information. Like sometimes what happens when you're talking to the person, you're talking on a phone, etc., you might not be able to capture all the information correctly. But when the person himself is putting his own data, then the chances of accuracy is really high. So there you go. So that's really fantastic. Boom. So now we're going to, this is a demonstration one for updating the contact. The third one is like capturing the testimonial. This one is our favorite. I think Arnav will like this as well. I think because, first, one of the few things we did initially when GoldenLion is to collect as much testimonial as possible by giving good service and also, getting those testimonials done from the customers as soon as possible actually. So basically as far as that giving good service is concerned, of course you must love your customers and try to give them, you should try to give them best service to delight them so that they can actually become your advocates, they can recommend you to other people. In fact, even in this age, I think testimonials are your, the social proof or some proof, where exactly will speak for you actually. Like, so when a customer starts speaking for you, then your business grows like anything. So that's what really happened with us. So one of the few things which we did is that give a good service to customers and get good testimonial from them. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you how easily you can capture the testimonial. Before that, I'll show you something like here in GoldenLion, this exercise, you can see the effect of this particular exercise here very much. So in GoldenLion, one of the things, as I said, in Zoho ecosystem, I think we're the only partner having so many testimonials in our belt actually. So we're really proud of that thing. So, see, series of testimonials are there. So many customers are loving us. Like see, some of you guys might be there. I could see some of the names there and who's attending the webinar today are there on the list as well. So anyway, so I could go through here. So we love you all. You guys are really been terrific. You've been really great for us. We really thank you very much. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all my customers who are attending the webinar, who have given me the testimonials or giving the services as well. So all, you might be seeing your name. Next to might be your name. Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah. So, so this is like really, and it really works magical. Like say, you can see that I'm going to demonstrate that to you. For example, Jack has been a great customer for me. So I'd like to request him for a testimonial. So I'll do the same exercise on Jack. So say, Jack, please give me a testimonial. So I can send a testimonial form to him. So just once the mail go, I'll show you that how it looks and how the information is getting captured in CRM. Here I'd like to tell you one thing about this custom model stuff a little bit. So here we've added custom module called testimonials here. So basically, in CRM we're going to add some extra modules which is not available. Don't worry, you can add the custom models, and custom models is a powerful thing. So let's say this is a request for testimonial. Jack has received this email. All he has to do is that open this one page here, nice looking landing page here. You can have your awesome looking picture. You can design your test. You provide your names. You can say, okay, it has been awesome experience working with you and your team. Just nice words. I'm just writing for myself. I hope you don't mind it. We will recommend you. Your services. Let's say we highly recommend your services. Just and if there is any picture, you can attach it or logo. Is the person or they agree, and he can agree to this. Like GoldenLion can publish this to website or not. Choose a file picture. For example, I'm choosing this one, and submit this. Boom, that's all, and it goes to the CRM. So it's as simple as that. So pretty cool. So you can collect your testimonials after giving your services. Imagine, once you give a good service, you can always collect. You collect. Survey form you might be sending. You can also send a testimonial form as well, so that really works fantastic. So this is going to be a kind of advice from our side. If you really want to pump up your sales, actually, then testimonial is one way to get the thing get that done actually. So here the testimonial is here. So I can open this form. See, whatever he has written, that is being captured automatically here, and this picture as well has been copied. So now you can publish that, to your website as well to take your business. That really is going to help you. So this is another use case which I was talking about. So now
this is one of the fantastic use cases that Atha has just demonstrated, and this is one of my all-time favorites because testimonials are like social proof. So the more the testimonials, higher is your success in the marketplace. So my recommendation is all of you have been doing so well. On top of that, if you add that testimonials element, you will skyrocket your business. And this kind of automation doesn't take much of time. Uh, in a couple of hours, we can get that set for you, and you could use it throughout your lifetime.
Thank you, Arnav, for this input, because this was his idea actually, and he's really so passionate about it. So you must say that he's running this thing like he's more keen, to getting testimonial than the business itself. So I would say yes, there's something which really a good success point for GoldenLion here. So now I'm going to demonstrate even more complex form where we're going to create multiple module information. I would say that we're going to showcase you how you can capture information on 3 models like contact module, trip, and passenger module, one click. So those people for trip is nothing but an opportunity. Actually, those people are not from travel agency. Don't worry about it. Trip is nothing but an opportunity or potential module in the CRM. So it is as well. So don't worry about it. So I'm going to show you that in a second. Give me a second. So that and this is really and this use case I'm going to share is that is really powerful in the sense that it actually captures information which you can actually one form can do wonders for you. One form can give more information and it can pass on to different kind of modules. So that experimentation is really giving a lot of help to your customers. I'm going to demonstrate one simple form here. Like this is a particular form which is like this form is having one area of information, this form is another, this area is another area. So basic and the three components are there. The first component basically will go to my contact module. Okay, so and the second information will go to my potential module. Those who are not from travel agency actually. So they'll say the potential module, like so, and the third will be going to my custom module, like this another module where I'm going to talk about the passengers, like say. So basically, let me just add it here. So for example, here I'm going to have say a name very quickly. I'm going to fill this form. I hope that, don't worry, I'm not going to take long. So Viber, say Hill, email, say Viber, Hill@GLion Consulting, mobile number I'll put. And as well, it's a big form, it's going to take some time. Please have some patience, guys. You'll really see the magic. So for example, date of birth might be 1981. I'll say 155 Russell Street. City, say New York. State NY, for example. Zip code, I'm just putting something here. Country, I'll say quickly. States, passport number, expiry date, like let's say put expiry date sometime 2020, 9th of June. So this information, number of adults traveling, let's say only 2, number of children is 0. I'm just keeping this form simple, so I'm just putting 2 people here. And I'm going to add, like here, this form I'm going to use, if this person is going to be a passenger as well, so I'm going to select this. It's going to populate this name already. So I'm going to add one more, say going to be Mrs. Oliver, Sarah Oliver. Sarah Hill is going to be, so the name should be, I'm not worried about this capitalization, I still don't worry. So I'm going to say Sarah @GLion Consulting. Another field which is very interesting here is that the gateways, like in the travel agency, is really helpful when you're doing have a group tours. You like to know which gateway they're coming actually. For example, say Sarah is going to, if you've got a group of people coming, so 30, 40 people coming in, they're coming from different, gateways, so you like to capture that as well. So let's say this gateway, I'm going to see this gateway. So let's select the country here. Quickly, I'm going to choose United States. Date of birth maybe sometime, say 84, 90th June. The passport number, expiry date of the passport, I'm going to capture very quickly. 21, 30 of this. So this is the 2 information which I've captured, and this, as I said, this is going to be going to the contact. This one is going to be the trip. This is going to be in the passenger details. So let me submit this information. Boom. Let's see what happens in the CRM. See this Oliver Hill, the new trip has been created automatically. This is basically nothing. Trip is nothing, and you see that potential module, like it's potential, those are familiar with the CRM. So basically it's a module like where potential module, some record has been created. Now I'm going to click here, and I'll show you that other information. Like for example, this contact has been created, Oliver Hill, and and is related to the number of people coming in here is all coming here nicely. And also the passengers has been, this custom model information has been populated here. This two information and this two passenger name is coming up. So this is basically nothing but the contact details. So I'm going to go click on this arrival here. So you see that information getting populated here. See, his date of birth, his passport number, his passport expiry details, the data. So these are the few information which is getting automatically populated, which is really cool, I believe. So now I'm going back to the trip, and going back to the trip here. And the third information which I was talking about is that the passenger, like the third is passenger module. So let's say Sarah Hill, what is the information which I passed on of the Sarah Hill is going to be added as a passenger, and as well as contact, of course. Okay, Sarah is a passenger for this particular trip, so this information is coming here. So this is what the passenger, and if I go and click on this contact, so your information is also being populated here. So much information has been populated to various modules, like say the potential module, to contact module, to custom module. So this is really powerful in terms, imagine a situation where you have to, it's really useful for the cases, the multiple cases where you have to have, some forms which is going to create multiple record in the CRM. So, and if you have got a special use case, then you please send an email to zoho@zlionconsulting.com. Now I think I'm almost over with my presentation, so if you guys have any questions, you can, I think there's already a lot of questions are in, so you would like to answer. Now we'll start the question and answer session, and I'd like to give a kind of, if there's input which Arnav wants to give out to the customers, I'd like to hand over to him, and if there's any question, I'd like to answer together. Okay.
Hey, thanks so much, Ata. I think the last use case that you demonstrated has been awesome because look at the power of that. Like you have got just one waveform, and if somebody fills up that waveform, it's going to update the trip module, the contact, and the passengers. So imagine a situation where you are working in a travel agency, you're running a travel agency business. Your time is the most precious asset, right? So now because of this automation, you could actually give this job to your clients who are going to travel, and you could focus on building relationship with your client rather than investing time in terms of all this mundane work in terms of data updation. Okay, so that gives you a lot of additional hours throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the month that you can invest in other side of your business in terms of how to scale the business. Now, while Ata has demonstrated for travel agency, you could pretty much go ahead and apply that for any other industry. So assume that you are a law firm. So you're going to take your client's case details into the application. So instead of you filling it up, you could really give that job to your client. The client could update it themselves, and that could be made available inside the CRM system. Or think of a situation that you are a financial advisory company where you need to capture the details about your client, the kind of assets that they have, the kind of policies, the insurance policies that they hold. So all this updation, instead of you doing it, you could give the job to your client. They could update it, and you could have all the updated information available to you with the blink of an eye inside your CRM. Assuming that you're a professional services company, for example, if you're a digital marketing company or you're an architectural firm and you want your client details like your project specifications, the drawing specifications to be uploaded by the client and have it available across to you, that is a possibility today thanks to the web form. So there are different use cases that you could think of. All the sky's the limit in terms of the imagination, because your business is unique in nature, so you might have a specific, very unique use case, and we'll be more than happy. We have an extremely talented team out here. We'll be more than happy to really look at your use case and see that how best and how efficiently we can go ahead and automate that part of it. With that, I can see that there are a lot of questions which is coming in. So Arthur and myself are going to answer each one of your questions.
Okay, I think there are a lot of questions coming in actually. In fact, I could see one of them. I don't know if you can answer this. What happens if the primary contact already exists in the application? So how do you answer that question?
Okay,
First question.
so the last example that Artha has demonstrated across to you that kind of using one waveform, the data is going to the contact module, is creating a contact, creating a trip, and creating multiple passengers. Now, in case the contact already exists, the primary contact already exists in the CRM database, it's not going to create one more contact with the same name. It's going to update that, and it is just going to create an additional trip, and the passengers are going to tag against that trip.
Thank you, Arnav. Thank you. So
Okay, so I see that a couple of other questions, like I can see that Terry has got a question, which is, we purchased the travel agency customization from you in the recent past, but we did not see the passenger custom module. I would love to learn more about it. Should I contact that? Okay, Terry, thank you so much. Thanks for this question. It's an amazing question because there are a couple of ways you can map the passengers. One is currently you can use the contact roles inside CRM to map that. However, there are a couple of organizations who needed a dedicated passengers module. That's the reason we created that. Not all travel agencies need that. In case you need that, we'd love to assist you on that part of it. Okay? I hope that answers.
thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry, for your question. There's another question coming in actually from Jennifer, Canada. So they're basically a loan processing company. They collect information from client at different stages in sales cycle. Is it possible to automate that? Yeah, I'm going to answer the question. Yes, Jennifer, that's really possible. So imagine a situation you're actually, if I understand your question correctly, what you're trying to say is that you are basically a company who is actually assist people getting loans, and it's a pretty complex situation, and you have got some, and in this situation you collect information in stepwise, like, and say one is initially collect some information, basic information, they'll go on, and depending on the lenders, you collect different kind of information from different people, and you like to automate that as well. Or maybe you might have different set of questions for different kind of loans. Yeah, so you can have different kind of application, different kind of forms, and you can send your customers, and those information can be, of course, get into the system. So as I said, that as I've demonstrated here, if you remember, in the first demonstration, I've used two different lead forms to come in the information in the lead pages. So you can have as many forms coming to one module. So you can have different sections where you can input information coming from different forms. That's one thing. Yeah, you can do that. You can answer.
Excellent. I think that's been answered well. I can see there's one more question from Money, that how to embed multiple waveform in a single web page. Yes, that's absolutely possible. You could create multiple waveforms and get that embedded into the same web page. That's a possibility. Like the example that Ata had demonstrated, the first example where you saw that there was a landing page and there are two forms out there. So in that case, you could have multiple forms, like for if you're offering multiple products, multiple vacations, multiple financial advisory products, whatever the business lines that you are in, based on the need of the hour, you could embed multiple waveforms in a single web page. That's a possibility. And there was a request by Money to Ata that could you repeat the review and updating the contact? That means the use case.
Sure, sure.
Sure. If you could
Sure, sure,
demonstrate
sure.
that.
I'll do that. Yeah. Just a second. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you. Just a second. Yeah. So here, actually, like, Mani, if this is for you, actually, like, say, the Sarah Hill is basically, I'm going to demonstrate this to you, Sarah Hill only. So let's say this is the information which is already available. Say these are the information available. So let's, for example, here, Sarah Hill's address information you don't have. So what you can do is that you can run a macro here. Individually you can send. When you're sending individuals, so you have this option. Or if you want to send multiple people, you can go here, you select this, and you run the macro. So for that, this macro has to be there. So if in your CRM is not there, then you can contact us. We can help you doing that. So let me demonstrate that to you. Let's say Sarah Hill is there, and let me run this macro. Send the contact details form. I hope that you can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So like here, the email the person will receive like this, which is going to be a link like this, review and update. The moment you click there, it'll go, here we've created a landing page. We have integrated this form on the Insta page actually. So here it will take that form in that page actually. And here, all the information will get populated, which is available in the CRM on the date. So, and then the additional information can be given here. For example, Sarah maybe from say, mailing street is let's say 12 Banking Street. Mailing city, let's say New York. Mailing state NY. Zip is something like this. Country USA. This is one information. There's some information. Mobile number she wants to update. Let's say this is a word. Sorry. So here I'm going to submit this information. Once you submit this information, so it'll go and update that record in the CRM. See, the information is being uploaded. This is Banking Street, New York. All this mailing zip, etc. All the information is being populated nicely here. So that's how you do that. I hope that answers the question. Mani, you have any other question? I could see there are some lots of questions there, like, so just a second.
There's one more thing.
There's another question.
A lot of people have requested to send the recording, so of course we'll take care of that part of it. In a few days, you'll be getting the recorded version as well.
There's another question, interesting question I would say, is it coming from Germany actually? It's like, you see one integration question. This is basically he's a professional entertainer. He wants to update his show details in opportunity module. Like say somebody is actually dealing with so many people. You want to automate that process. Somebody is actually he wants to send out a form to people, and once they update that form, that should automatically come to the CRM, and his calendar should accordingly book. So how do you respond to that, Arnab? What's your response to that?
Okay, that's an excellent question, and the good news is we have already done that for a few professional entertainers where they could send a form to their client, and the client in turn can really kind of fill up all the show details like the venue, the show start time, end time, who is going to be the people who are going to be there in this show, and they can submit the form, and that will update the opportunity module or the potential module inside Zoho CRM, and that will also is going to update the calendar for that entertainer. Okay, so yes, the good news is we have already handled this kind of use case, so it's absolutely possible.
There's another question actually coming from Joseph, USA, is that he's running a digital marketing company. He wants to embed web form on a landing page.
Yes, so that's a great question. In fact, the example that Ata has demonstrated that where the web form was embedded on a landing page, we used, so there are multiple landing page software. So we used InstaPage as a landing page application. Of course, you could design a landing page using InstaPage or Lead Pages or any other landing page software, and we can help you embed the web form on kind of over there, and any inquiry submitted on that web form would land inside your CRM straight. Okay, hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much for nice answers, Arnab. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. I could see this, I think a lot of questions actually we've answered. And if you have any other question, you can always write down to it this email ID at zoho@zlionconsulting.com.